Hello, hiya.
Bereshit 15, Genesis 15, beginning at verse 1. After these things, the word of Ahiah came unto Abram in a vision, saying, Fear not, Abram, I am thy shield, thy reward. Thy reward shall be exceeding great. And Abram said, and we use our Creator's name, Ahiah. So we know that they substituted the name, but we don't live like that. Verse 2, and Abram said, O El Shaddai, what wilt thou give me, seeing I go hence childless? And he that shall be possessor of my house is Eleazar of Damascus, present-day Syria, as told to us in the present-day history books. Verse 3, and Abram said, Behold to me, thou hast given no seed, and lo, one born in my house is to be mine heir. Verse 4, and behold, the word of Ahiah came unto him, saying, This man shall not be your heir, but he that shall come forth out of thy own bowels shall be thine heir. The bowels are the man's loins, his reproductive organs. And he brought him forth abroad, and said, Look now toward Shamayim, heaven, and count the stars, if thou be able to count them. And he said, Unto him so shall thy seed be. Bereshit 15, Genesis 15, beginning the story of Ahiah the Creator coming to visit his prophet, his servant, Abraham at the time. Name changed later to Abraham. Sarai to Sarah. But here he comes and visits his prophet, Abram. And upon visiting the prophet, they have a discussion. And the discussion is dealing with his heir. What will he leave here on this earth? This teaching is not what they call spiritual teaching. This is a reality teaching. We deal with the real world. We do not try to escape. We are here, and we're in it. So Abraham's in it on this. And Abraham's dealing with reality. The reality of who I'm going to leave all my stuff to. We've been programmed wrong in saying you never seen a U-Haul behind a hearse. Talking about, working hard and can't take nothing with you to the grave. And it is true that the grave, your treasure's buried there is no value. So you shouldn't bury all your treasures there. So it really is no value when it's under the ground. But you sure can pass down your substance to your children. And that should be the main thing that you're looking at on this earth, is that to pass down something good and help sustain your family for generations and generations to come. Now, the ones who don't leave substance to theirs, when I say leave substance, the person don't have to die to leave you substance. When I say, leave you substance, they do what they needed to do to help sustain you for their time walking this earth. And so there's a lot of different levels to substance and passing down substance. If your family, your father, mother passed down, showing you how to work and take care of business and what to stay away from and what, how to better your life and help provide for you on your grown journey, they've done their part. There's no need to cry and none of that, because they helped you while they were here and they gave you what you needed while you were here. But if you're not giving something of value to your descendants that they can use for the betterment of their self, it's a disservice. So the Torah teaches us to get substance and pass down substance. And I'm not going to itemize everything on what substance is, because it's a variety of things. And it's more than just tangible. It's also teachings that you pass down to your generations, from generation to generations, keep passing down. In the Shemitic culture, the culture of Shem, according to the Torah, the culture of Shem was baraked after coming out of the ship with Noah. So tracing on the lineage of Shem, there's a certain culture that we carry with us. And that culture is passing down teachings orally. We pass them down. The Creator has given us now what is written, but early in time, it was passed down mouth to ear. And you pass it down to your children. The stories, the traditions, the honors, the defeats, the victories, and the losses. So that's how it was recorded. So passing down things in our culture is very important. And we should refocus on that, and it would better serve us because we'll have a clear understanding of where our resources are going. So there should be a head of your household. You should get under a household. You should get under a tribe of righteousness, some where they're doing right. Or if you can't find that, then you have to, with a higher's help, start that. And you have to ask the king for all the tools needed for you to start your tribe. Abraham had a tribe. He took care of orphans. He took care of people. And he took care of his own family. If you don't have this mindset, you need to get this mindset. Verse 4. And behold, the word of Ahiah came unto him, saying, This man shall not be thine heir, but he that shall come forth out of thine own bowels shall be thine heir. And he brought him forth abroad, and said, Look now toward heaven, Shamayim is heaven, and count the stars, if thou be able to count them. And he said unto him, So shall thy seed be. So Abrahamites, people of the Abrahamic way, and when I say the Abrahamic way, I'm careful with that, but I would say the traditions of Abraham, the stories of Abraham, those who follow that, and those who acknowledge who they are as the children of Abraham. It's very important to find out who Abraham is, because Ahiah walked with Abraham. Abraham walked with Ahiah, and they went places with each other. So, Ahiah has vehicles that he can take you up in, or he can drive you around in. Yes, this is not a ghost way. This is a reality way. The commander-in-chief, a king, real, walks among us. Physical, no ghost, powerful, technology that you can't even comprehend. But he has given us a beautiful piece of understanding and vision that we can see him and know him, eat with him, and serve him as he's resting. Verse 5. And he believed in Ahiah, and he counted it to him for righteousness. And he said unto him, I am Ahiah, that brought thee out of of the Chaldees, to give thee this land to inherit. And he said, O Ahiah, or should die. Because Abraham at that, he didn't know Ahiah as Ahiah. He knew him as El Shaddai. El Shaddai is the Almighty One. El Shaddai also means the one of the mountains. Do your research. And he said, verse 7, and he said unto him, I am Ahiah, or El Shaddai, that brought thee out of of the Chaldees, to give thee this land to inherit. So we see here that Abraham is from of the Chaldees. The Chaldees, in that land of what is called Babylon, that they call it today Iraq, these was ancient lands that had ancient knowledge, that had a history already, and wasn't new to the Shining One, Ahiah. But Ahiah had other plans for Abraham and moved him out of these places of the Chaldees. If you look up those places like Shinar and Sumeria, Akkadian culture, Mesopotamia, has a long, beautiful history. And they have knowledge from those books of stories similar to what is told to us here in Bereshit. So we just read those books with caution, because we come from a understanding that Ahiah gives us now, that we find what is valuable to the Creator now and is beneficial for our way of life now. So we apply that to our daily living. And he said, O Ahiah, whereby shall I know that I shall inherit it? Verse 8, now verse 9. And he said unto me, take me a heifer of 3 years old, and a she-goat of 3 years old, and a ram of 3 years old, and a turtle dove, and a young pigeon. And he took him all these, and divided them in the midst, and laid each half over against the other. But the birds divided he not. And the birds of prey came down upon the carcasses, and Abram drove them away. Verse 12. And it came to pass that when the sun was going down, a deep sleep fell upon Abram. And lo, a dread, even a great darkness, fell upon him. And he said, Higher, El Shaddai, the king said, Know of a surety that thy seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs, and shall serve them, and they shall afflict them 400 years. Now, coming from our way of life, our perspective, Halal Hayah, the understanding given to us on our journey in this time, in this present day that we live in 2023, we feel that we have fulfilled this verse here, the 400 years. Here in America, United States of America, is where Ahia drove us to. The king brought us here. So ain't no need to be mad at nobody else. Ahia, the king, yes, the creator, the one who created everything. He the one brought us here. And it is written, you shall serve them. And he says also that the land is not ours. And we're a stranger in this land. So we're coming from that perspective. So we know in our hearts, in our nefesh, in our labib, our minds, that this is true. And we bear witness that this is true by being visited by the king and him showing us his similitude. If you haven't seen him, pray that you can see him. But for those of us who have seen him, we have a duty to represent. So that's what I'm doing. And I'm not bashful or scared to talk about it. And he said unto Abraham, verse 13, Know of a surety that thy seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs, and shall serve them, and they shall afflict them 400 years. 1619, 2019. 1619, United States recognized that they had these Hebrews, descendants of Abraham, so-called black people, so-called African Americans, and we know that there's others of other colors, of other nationalities. We're not tripping. We're just talking about coming from our perspective. So it's not a diss to anybody. We know Abraham has many descendants and made many nations. So we not racist and we not on that tip. We just hold back to our traditions to serve the one king, the great one, Higher. That's it. So 400 years. And we've turned back to our great king, as spoken in Leviticus 26. We've turned back to him. But at this time, way before our landing here in America, the Creator had already talked about to our father Abraham about us here. And it's beautiful because it shows you the preparedness of a great king who really has the forethought and the vision better than all of us. And one thing for sure, he's not going to miss. So, and also, verse 14, that nation whom they shall serve will I judge, and afterward shall they come out with great substance. So even here in this country, we speak no ill. We are not here to vandalize, terrorize, disrupt their system. We here to keep the peace, to Barack wherever we're at, to help and inspire to live a righteous life wherever we're at, with the understanding that we are in a nation of many different things. So we must shine in the righteousness of Ahaya with understanding of where we're at and whatever we're under. So here we're in the United States of America, they have laws. And, if you ain't want to get in trouble, you keep the laws. So the best thing to do is keep the laws, especially when they're righteous. So, because we're just training ourselves anyway to get took it out of here. So it's no great mystery, and we're not looking to live here forever. We're building our family up to be here, took him back to the place where Ahaya wants us. So there's no reason to cause an uproar here unless you're getting done wrong, unjustly, and you're fighting for your life. That's understandable. But you might as well get your mind together to serve your king, your creator. Our manners are what's most important now. So in a story like this, and also that nation, verse 14, whom they shall serve, will I judge. So nobody's getting away. Whoever is here, is under this, will be judged. And the higher is merciful, and he shows mercy and compassion on whom he wants to. And that he's the king, and there's nothing I can do about it but pray that he have mercy on us all. Because we know it don't make no sense to focus on anybody else when we have to focus on ourselves. The Torah teaches, take heed to yourself. Take heed to yourself. So verse 14, the nation whom they shall serve will he judge. And afterward, we don't know, here's the thing, we don't know how long it's going to take for him to judge and go through all the books and him to render proper just due to whoever deserves it. If you've been wicked towards us for no reason, just to be wicked, then you're getting it. I don't have to call no names and say who. If you have done wickedness to some people who have done nothing to you and just hated them just to hate them, in this time, that's a scary dread right there, because the king is here and he's handling business. And we give thanks and not ashamed to say that we believe our king is here and walks amongst us, drives by and comes by, fly by, however he wants to. We live in this understanding and know this. So he's judging right now. He's breaking up places. He's moving people around. He's creating new borders or restoring old borders all across the world. And especially where his people are, you should see a lot of movement. Wherever his people are, especially Israel, wherever they are, they should be moving and he's gathering. But thou shalt go, verse 15, to thy fathers in peace. Thou shalt be buried in a good old age. It's all we want. Good old age. A life full. And in the fourth generation they shall come back hither, for the iniquity of the Amorite is not yet full. So at that time, 4 generations from that time where Abraham was, Yisrael did go back to the land, and I believe it was to bury Jacob with Joseph in Mitzrayim, when you read that. And it came to pass that when the sun went down, and there was thick darkness, behold, a smoking furnace and a flaming torch that passed between these pieces. We have a creator who makes covenant with his. And we have a creator who will eat with us. We have a creator who will prepare food for us. We have a living creator. So in our tradition, we have a tradition, the covenant of salt. We have different other covenants, circumcision. Food was also a symbol of a contract that was being made between two parties. Between two parties, just like a business deal, sometimes the deal is sealed with a meal. And it's the same now. The same this day. Our Creator can eat, does eat, will eat. And that's the difference. We don't deal with the ghost or anything like that. Our Creator is just as real as me and you. As real as the loved one you're sitting next to. As real as that tree that you see. He's real as that. Real. And so we live with this understanding. We live with this understanding. We live with this understanding. And so when he come down here, verse 17, this was the Creator coming down in blackness. He comes dark, very dark, darker than you ever imagined, and beautiful, and strong, and powerful. And you can't beat him, so give up. And it came to pass that when the sun went down, and there was a thick darkness, behold, a smoking furnace, and a flaming torch that passed between these pieces. You see a higher, especially if you're a prophet, which I call myself, or I am called by a higher because of my experiences and the understanding that he's given me and sealed me with. Those that see him know you're going to see a light that comes from him, that he shines to get your attention, and it goes from there. The great Creator, he will shine you and draw you closer to him, but you'll be at a distance, little distance still, but he'll shine you and come close to you, and you see his beautiful appearance. You will be changed forever. But he's beautiful, black, and got about 6 foot something. Strong, very, 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 very much in control, very, very much in power, in movement, fast. He runs, and it's beautiful. So, let me see here. Here he's with Abraham. Every time the king comes, it's a great thing. Never take it little. Every time the king comes, it's a great thing. If you think of the honor of men on the earth, and wherever they go, they got the carpets rolled out and airplanes and everything. No, the Creator is way better. Is way more. So, and it's especially with understanding. He deals with us in our understanding. Just like a father deals with a little baby in his understanding. He don't go put too much on you. It gets you little by little. But we see here he cooks. And right now he's cooking as we're reading for Abraham. He took him, he drove him around, he took him aboard on his ship to see the stars. This is true. Verse 18. In that day, Ahiah made a covenant with Abraham, saying, unto thy seed, who we say we are, have I given this land, from the river of Egypt, which is Mitzrayim, unto the great river, the river Euphrates, which is not really called Euphrates. Sorry, I don't have the info, but it's another river out there in Iraq area. The Kenite and the Kenizzite and the Kadmonite and the Hittite and the Perizzite and the Rephaim and the Amorite and the Canaanite and the Girgashite and the Jebusite. The Canaanite, the Kenizzite, and the Kadmonite and the Hittite and the Perizzite and the Rephaim and the Amorite and the Canaanite and the Girgashite and the Jebusite. You must read these names and learn this geography. Read these names, learn this geography to those that highest filled with knowledge of geography. A lot of people, you're not going to read all that, but it's for your benefit if you at least know the geography. You have a good understanding. Allah, yeah. Shalom.